All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into some lyrics you sent over
Okay.
from YouTube.
Sounds good.
This is Shadow of the Sun by Overtime.
Right? Yeah.
And yeah, the mission here is to unpack some of these
Sure.
themes and emotions that come through
Right.
in these lyrics. And right away,
Yeah.
you get this line that
Hmm.
really hits you. It says, "Why does it feel so dark when I light that spark? Why is it always so bright when I rip my heart out?"
Hmm. That's interesting.
So what do you think about that for us?
I mean, right away, that's so interesting to me because it's this idea that, like,
Yeah.
when you are trying to do something positive, when you're trying to make a change,
Mm-hmm.
light that spark, it feels dark, it feels lonely, maybe it feels unsupported.
Yeah.
And then when you are at your most vulnerable, when you're ripping your heart out, so to speak,
Right.
everything becomes clear,
Mm.
and so it's this kind of this immediate paradox that's set up that I think we see play out through the rest of the song.
Right. Yeah. And then right away in the next verse, we see this idea of transience, leaving loved ones. It says, "Take my time, tell my baby bye-bye. Only home for the night, I'll be gone tomorrow. And I pack my bags for a plane to sorrow."
Mm.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so it's not only that you're leaving, but there's a reason you're leaving, right? It's not just like,
Right.
oh, I'm going on vacation and I'm sad to leave. It's more like, I have to go do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not for me, it's for somebody else, or it's for this greater goal or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not even just a feeling of being sad to leave, but also maybe
Right.
feeling of societal pressure to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to do this, even though it hurts.
And then maybe that leads into this idea of ambition. It says, "See, I've never met a world that'll wait for the great things. Want to be a king." Then the wait will be waiting.
Yeah, I mean, this whole idea that like
Yeah.
nobody's going to just hand you the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. If you want to be a king, then you got to be ready for that weight. You got to be ready for that responsibility.
Right.
And it's not going to be given to you. You got to go earn it.
Yeah. But then there's this feeling of not being alone in this struggle, right? It says, "Get up off the ground
Mm.
and you take a look around. And the people that you're fighting for are holding it down."
Yeah, so it's not just about you. It's about you and your community. It's about you and the people around you who are in this struggle with you and who are supporting you and who are relying on you.
Right.
And that, I think, is something that's really important, is that idea that, like,
Yeah.
even when things are tough, you're not alone.
Right.
You've got people who are fighting alongside you, and that's a powerful thing.
And it's not sugarcoating it either. This is
Right.
really this real look at life. It says, "That's some real life. Living like survival of the fittest shit. We ain't never started, but we damn gonna finish it."
Yeah, this is the reality of the situation.
Right.
We didn't ask for this. It wasn't our choice to be in this situation.
Right.
But we're here now, and we're going to see it through, we're going to make the best of it.
Yeah. And that's what leads into, I think, some of these core values. It says, "Family over everything. And money ain't love. Got a pot to piss in. And you ain't on them drugs.
Huh?
Then you're better than most of us was."
Right?
So this is like really
Yeah, it's interesting.
a strong moral compass right in the middle of the song. It's
Yeah.
like, here's what's important for you.
This is what's important.
This is how you should be living your life.
Family is number one.
Yeah.
Money's not everything you know.
Right.
Take care of yourself. Don't go down those destructive paths,
Right.
and you'll be all right.
And then I mean that leads into this idea of the daily grind, the constant struggle. It says, "Working like a dog. In the heat in the summertime, making ends meet. So the wolves don't come inside. Fighting for my life and my wife and the kind of mine."
Right. So this idea that, like,
Yeah.
this is a constant thing. This isn't just like
Yeah.
a one-time thing. This is every day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to get up. You got to work. You got to provide for your family.
Right.
You got to keep the wolves at bay, so to speak.
And there's this feeling of being trapped by that almost, right? I got the weight of the world pinned down on my backside, bill so high that it's hard to act right out on the road,
Yeah.
getting money, send it home, and I never see a dollar of it. So this is like really intense. This is
pure selflessness.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is this idea that I'm working so hard for other people
Right.
that I don't even get to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's just this feeling of like,
Yeah.
just constant giving.
Yeah, and it's right.
And it's not just about the suffering, though. It's about
Right.
there's something else going on. There's something bigger happening. It says pressure builds up, like a diamond in a coal mine.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
This is so interesting to me because it's this idea that, like, yeah, you're under pressure all the time,
Right.
but what comes out of that pressure is something beautiful,
Yeah.
something valuable.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful, I think, because it's not just saying like, oh, you're suffering for no reason. It's saying like the suffering is actually creating something.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
creating something worthwhile.
And that leads into this idea
Right.
of it having purpose. You know,
Huh.
it says having life with a purpose instead of life in a circus, getting high when you're working. Ain't a lie worth living. No.
Right. So it's saying like,
Yeah.
don't just be distracted by all the flashing lights and the easy ways out. You know,
Right.
find something that actually matters to you.
Yeah.
Find something that gives you a reason to get up in the morning. Yeah, and so now going back to that
Right.
that first verse with that paradox of, you know, why is it so dark when I light that spark? Why is it so bright when I rip my heart out? Maybe it's that, you know, you're on this this path, you're working towards these goals, you're trying to provide for your family, you're trying to achieve these things, but it's hard and it's lonely and it's dark. But then when you are at your most vulnerable, when you're really
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, then things become clear, you know, then you realize what's really important.
Yeah. Maybe it's that in those moments of darkness when you're trying to light that spark,
Right.
it's because you're so focused on the goal
Yeah.
that you don't see everything else around you. And then when you
Yeah.
rip your heart out, you're forced to see everything. You're forced to see the people who are there for you. You're
Mhm.
forced to see the love that's around you.
Yeah. And so overall, these lyrics really paint this picture of, you know, relentless struggle, the importance of family and community, the burden of ambition, and then ultimately this search for purpose
Yeah.
in the midst of it all.
And, you know, for you listening, I think the question is, what are those moments for you?
Right.
What are those moments where you felt like
Yeah.
you're lighting a spark and it's just dark and you feel alone?
Right.
And what are those moments where you've been forced to be vulnerable and you've seen everything so clearly?
Yeah.
What are those moments for you?
Great question.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye.